Live across Michiana, this is ABC 57 News.
Hello and welcome to ABC 57 News at 6 on this beautiful Labor Day holiday weekend, everyone. I'm Brian Coneybear. Tonight here on ABC 57, it's the season opener for the number 6 Notre Dame Fighting Irish against the 10th ranked Miami Hurricanes down in South Florida. And the ABC 57 kickoff crew is ready to rock live at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Allison Hayes is there, Vahid Sadrazadeh and Talia Baya, all on the ground for us there right now where it's been raining on and off. And after last year's historic run to the national championship game, fans at the linebacker hoping that happens again this season. We'll check in with Jordan Tolbert there. But first, let's get down to Miami. Guys, set the stage for us there at Hard Rock Stadium right now. Got to be a great atmosphere.
Well, it is a very wet and a very hot and steamy atmosphere. Since we've been here at the stadium, it's downpoured, it's lightninged, it's stopped, it's rained again, and it's been on and off the whole rest of the time we've been here. So we've been rushing to get the umbrellas, to get everything all covered up to keep us as dry as possible.
Listen, if you wanted a great workout, it was today in Miami Gardens. You mentioned it, hot, steamy, up to 93 degrees earlier with 90% humidity earlier today, and then the clouds and the storms opened up. Talia, it's not stopping these guys from warming up. CJ Carr, of course, the big story tonight. What's he going to do? And he's going to have weather to contend with.
Yes, it will be very difficult for them. For passes, the ball's going to especially be slippery, so expect a lot of run game, I'm thinking. What about you guys?
Arguably the best running back in college football, and Jeremiah Love. I think that's a really good game plan. If you see behind us right now, the players are warming up on the field, and we see CJ Carr, we see the other guys getting themselves ready to go. But this has been a matchup that people have been talking about since last season, ready for this one to open it up. The season really begins and possibly ends here in Miami with the national championship being played here at Hard Rock Stadium in January. And of course, when you talk about people talking about this matchup, we caught up with Mike Golick Sr. this preseason to talk about the Miami game, to talk about CJ Carr and what the ceiling is for this Irish team. Take a listen.
It's coming out of the gate strong, right? We know they got Carson Beck, a transfer from Georgia, so they have a throwing quarterback, but we have a throwing quarterback as well. The offensive line, which was kind of new and inexperienced last year, got a year under their belt. That's going to be one of the more experienced places for us to go. Eli Reardon, a tight end, is going to be a stud. The defense, I know they have a new D coordinator in Chris Ash, but the defense is still stocked with a lot of talent, so I don't see why people and certainly the team won't expect to be right where they were last year.
Would it even be Notre Dame if there wasn't a quarterback controversy coming in to the season opener?
Well, last a couple years, it was transfer in who they basically had the job. Now it's from within. So now it is an actual competition. But I'm glad that they're doing it from within, because that's a lot of times why players will transfer. If they're just bringing in transfers and starting them ahead of the guy that was here, they're going to leave. So they made it a competition.
Of course, CJ Carr getting his first start. We've seen him in spring ball. We've seen him at practice. He looks good. What are your thoughts, and what do you like about him as he now starts his career as the starter?
I tell you what, he's a young guy, but he plays like with an old soul. He reads defenses really, really well. He's got a really live arm, which is going to really help our wide receivers and tight ends. So I think while he comes across as young grade-wise, he plays older than he is. So I'm looking forward to seeing him start.
And guys, one thing that CJ Carr has is confidence. Coach Marcus Freeman said maybe a little bit too much confidence sometimes, but he likes that in his quarterback. And we're going to see that put to the test today in his first career start in one of the most intimidating places you can play in college football.
Yeah, coming up, I'm going to actually dive into the offense. Also the defense, let's not forget the defense. You know, we got Chris Ash taking over Al Golden, so that will be also interesting to see.
ABC 57 kickoff starts in just a few minutes at 6:30, but I'm going to tell you what, the last time we were here, Allison, at Hard Rock Stadium, we talked a lot about the footing, and guess what? The footing today is going to be treacherous. We'll see if they brought extra cleats. Sometimes they do, and we talked about that, but we are standing on some of the turf right now, and it is slick, so we'll see how that plays out. ABC 57 kickoff starts at 6:30. Of course, we'll have more for you on ABC 57 News here during this newscast for Talia Baya, Allison Hayes, I'm Vahid Sadarzadeh live at Hard Rock Stadium. Brian, Tom, will send it back to you.
Stay dry out there, y'all. Thank you very much. And we're counting down to the first ABC 57 kickoff pregame show of the 2025 season. It starts immediately after this newscast in just over 20 minutes, and we'll check back in with the crew a little later on. Well, the game may be 1,300 miles south of us tonight, but you can still feel the excitement here in South Bend whenever college football returns. ABC 57's Jordan Tolbert continues her live team coverage on the season opener. She's at the legendary Linebacker Lounge just off campus at Notre Dame. Jordan, are the fans ready out there?
Yeah, you know, Brian, I've been talking to fans pretty much since I got here about an hour ago. People are excited. I'm feeling the energy. I don't know if it's the coffee I had right before this. Maybe it's a combination of both. But just giving you the sights and sounds. The smells here, smells like popcorn. The sights, take a look at this. It's starting to get busier. So since I got here, more fans have been coming in. I've been kind of asking them how they're feeling going into this first game of the season. I actually wrote it down on this pad of paper right here, how people are feeling, and here's some of the responses I got. I got nervous, on edge, awesome, apprehensive, excited, and optimistic. The last person I talked to who said optimistic, they said that they're excited to see CJ Carr play for the first time. So really, really good energy here at the linebacker. We'll be here throughout the evening giving you updates both on air and online and on our Facebook page as well, where you can kind of follow along with the fan excitement. But for now, Jordan Tolbert reporting live at the linebacker for ABC 57 News. Back to you, Brian.
Jordan, thank you. Have fun with the fans there tonight. And Jordan's going to be part of the first ABC 57 kickoff pregame show of the season tonight at 6:30, right after this newscast, along with Allison, Vahid, and Talia, all live down in Miami. And did we mention the rain, folks? Yeah, this is what it looked like right outside Hard Rock Stadium this afternoon. Tailgaters hit by downpours. The sky's literally opening up just hours before kickoff for Notre Dame Miami, but will it impact the game itself? ABC 57 meteorologist Kristen Tyler watching the storms for us. Kristen?
Yeah, Brian, the rain has been all the talk these past few days leading up to the game, but looking at our radar, it looks like the rain is waning just a bit. We see Miami here on the map. We can look a little bit north. That's where Hard Rock Stadium is, and we're seeing the light rain continue to see some areas in Miami, but for the most part, it is moving out, and that is a really good sign. Some models are showing that the rain is going to push out right when the game time starts. Here, we'll go over that in just a few minutes. But going further, we can see back at home, it's perfect tailgating weather, seeing temperatures in the 70s across Michiana, no rain in sight, plenty of sunshine, a perfect day to spend outside celebrating, getting ready for this game. Clear skies today, clear skies overnight, allowing us to cool for our overnight temperatures falling to the 50s and the 40s for much of Michiana. All that heat is getting right back up into space. But we're going to continue with the warmer temperatures going forward in the forecast. We're going to talk about the game day forecast after the break, the warm Labor Day continuing, and a cold front bringing showers and a cool down. All that and more in the full forecast in about 10 minutes.
All right, Kristen, thank you. And an ABC 57 Community Watch tonight, it's day 3 of the 59th annual Marshall County Blueberry Festival, and firefighters from around the Midwest are getting in on the action today. The entire event at Centennial Park in Plymouth started back in 1966 with firemen getting together for some end-of-summer fun, and that tradition continues to this day. Fire crews from all over showing up to participate in what's called water ball today. Think competitive tug of war, but with a ball and fire hoses.
So 2 teams will go at it. The ball will start in the middle. It's a 110-foot cable, and then the water streams will push the ball to one side or the other. So there's a different couple ways of doing it. This year is a new way for us. It's called peg ball. So if you get down to the end of the cable, it's game over.
An estimated 500,000 people expected at a Blueberry Fest over its 5-day run this year. Tonight there's fireworks. Tomorrow it's the annual Labor Day parade to wrap it all up too.
We're dry and mild here in Michiana, but in Miami, it's a different scene. After the break, we'll go over the game day forecast and then come back here in Michiana talking about the next chance we'll see showers of our own.
Fans are heading into a soggy Hard Rock Stadium for tonight's top 10 matchup between Notre Dame and Miami. Beautiful stadium. The tailgating conditions outside, though, anything but ideal. This tailgate got flooded out. Just a grill and some lawn chairs left in that giant puddle under the trees after today's downpour. And some wild video here. A group of tailgaters on a yacht heading to the stadium in Miami getting hit by a lightning strike. They say the passengers are okay, but the yacht took a major hit. Ouch. ABC 57 meteorologist Kristen Tyler watching the storms. Will they clear out of Miami by kickoff, do you think, Kristen?
Our models are showing that the rain is going to be pushing out, but again, this is Florida. We're in the middle of their stormy and rainy season, so we're going to still see some lingering showers here. Let's look at our radar. Still seeing this rain begin to taper off here, especially right around the area where you're seeing the Hard Rock Stadium. But for the most part, we can track this out. The worst part is over. Kickoff time is at 7:44 here. We're seeing a lot of this rain come to an end. The light green indicating light showers lingering but pushing out, heading further into the overnight hours. Towards the end of the game, we're going to see a lot of that clearing out. This model is showing us some of that good news. Still keep your rain gear handy because you're going to possibly see some scattered showers and storms just in case. For the most part, a lot of that rain pushing out right after the game begins to start. But we're going to continue to see those warm and muggy conditions, temperatures in the 80s, even in the evening, but feeling like the 90s because it's so humid here. So Notre Dame has a few contenders. They're contending with Miami Hurricanes, the rain, and also that heat as well. We'll see if they can beat the odds here with all these conditions stacked against them. But back here at home, we're going to see temperatures fall down to the 50s overnight, rather cool, warming up going into the first half of next week, bringing back the chance for showers and storms of our own here on Wednesday. Best chance seeing on Wednesday afternoon, going overnight, even lingering into Thursday. That cold front bringing in that rain, and also bringing back that fall-like air. 10-day forecast showing us starting off in the 80s, bringing back the rain, 60s, but slowly recovering as we head further to the weekend and the following week in the forecast. So we'll be right back.
An ABC 57 consumer alert now. Budget airline Spirit is filing for bankruptcy again. This is the second time this year Spirit's filed for bankruptcy protection. The low-budget air carrier has been losing money since its failed merger with JetBlue, we're told. Spirit executives say profit losses, tariffs, reduced demand, and fares simply priced too low to make money are all factors in the decision. Spirit says it will keep flying, and passengers should not see any impacts from the bankruptcy proceeding.
Announced slate in late April, and in a little over 2.5 weeks, we had 100,000 reservations, and it's been continuing to grow from there.
New EV startup Slate Auto unveiling its new Warsaw headquarters this week. Next, ABC 57 News takes you inside the plant where local workers will make the first generation of these low-cost electric pickups. In case you missed it this week, the new electric pickup truck maker Slate Auto taking us inside its new factory in Warsaw, where local workers will assemble the company's first ever line of low-cost, customizable EV pickups. ABC 57's Annie Kate there for us.
Who could come in and fill up a 1.5 million square foot plant? Slate Auto.
Warsaw's Mayor Jeff Gross expressing his delight at the nearly $400 million investment by Slate Auto, building their first EV truck factory in Kosciuszko County, just outside Warsaw.
And it won't be telephone books and magazines. It's going to be an electric car that's affordable.
We announced slate in late April, and in a little over 2.5 weeks, we had 100,000 reservations, and it's been continuing to grow from there.
Slate Auto will produce affordable, meaning under $30,000, and customizable electric pickup trucks.
We've gone back to basics with the vehicle. We've taken out everything that's not a car.
No paint job, no radio, crank windows.
Just 10% of the parts of a typical truck to build the blank slate.
You can charge your car in a 110 outlet. It's unbelievable.
Why do you think Slate chose Warsaw, Indiana?
Indiana is open for business.
Indiana's 2nd District is the manufacturing capital of America. And specifically, Warsaw has been a hub of precision manufacturing. And with Slate's investment, it will now help lead the way in electric vehicles.
This empty warehouse building will be the auto body shop. This area for battery manufacturing. And over here, General Assembly. At full production, 150,000 trucks will roll out of this factory each year.
We haven't even started to see, I believe, the investment that Slate's making in Warsaw,
which has an estimated economic impact of $39 billion over the next 2 decades. And Slate promising more than 2,000 full-time jobs at this factory.
Obviously, we want those employees to live here as well as work here, so we are working very quickly on building housing.
Creating for Mayor Gross what he calls good problems.
It's just a great opportunity for us as mayor. Housing, schools, infrastructure, but you know what? That's a good thing.
Want to get right back down to the ABC 57 kickoff crew in Miami, and yes, you are. What's going on, guys? Just minutes, seconds away.
The rain has stopped, so that's all we need to know.
Love it. Let's do it.
You go back and you appreciate the journey. You appreciate what that season was.
Fresh off their first national championship appearance in 12 years,
being at Notre Dame, every game is a Super Bowl.
Notre Dame is looking to run it back.
We just want to be the best version of ourselves.
Led by All-American running back Jeremiah Love.
We got to let people know we're back.
And one of the best defenses in the nation.
Got better from the start to where we are today.
The Irish are equipped to make another deep playoff push.
Football runs in the Carr family blood.
But the keys to their season belong to a Carr.
It's close to any quarterback competition I've ever been a part of.
His first collegiate start. The raucous crowd at Hard Rock Stadium. Buckle up. It's a top 10 matchup in South Beach.
We're all going to find out, right?
6th ranked Notre Dame versus 10th ranked Miami. It's ABC 57 Kickoff, 10th anniversary season, brought to you by Afdent Dental, with your hosts, Allison Hayes and Vahid Sadrazadeh.
Well, Notre Dame football is back. ABC 57 Kickoff is live at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida, where the Fighting Irish, fresh off a national championship appearance, are looking to take the Miami Hurricanes by storm and start this new season off strong. And talk about storm. We just weathered one heck of a storm here in Miami Gardens. I am telling you, it downpoured here just moments ago. Welcome to ABC 57 Kickoff. I'm Allison Hayes.
And I'm Vahid Sadrazadeh. Welcome to the 10th season, the 10th anniversary season of ABC 57 Kickoff.
Let's go.
And welcome back to Miami, the 305, a top 10 matchup between number 6 Notre Dame and number 10 Miami, a hostile environment. Allison, the last time we were here, not so many good memories, at least on the football field, but the Irish trying to kick off another playoff run here in Miami Gardens, where it's been tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you look around the stadium and it's starting to fill up, they were not allowing folks in because there was a lightning delay, but now they're starting to let people in. You can see people are wearing orange because the Hurricanes are calling for an orange out for this game. Now, Vahid, I had a chance to sit down and talk one-on-one with head coach Marcus Freeman for an exclusive interview, and in that one, he told me a little bit of a preview of what he's expecting here for Miami tonight.
You know, we've obviously played in that stadium, but it's going to be much different this time, knowing that 75% or 90% of the crowd will be their fans, and it's a different opponent. We expect a huge challenge. It'll be a great challenge for us, and the best thing about that is we know every day as we go into work that, hey, this is coming on the horizon, and competitors want to play great teams, and so that's what we're going to have.
Well, we will have much more from my exclusive one-on-one interview coming up with Marcus Freeman a little bit later on in the show, where he gets into the new changes with the CFP, the college football playoffs, and the effect that has for Notre Dame as they are looking ahead. Because we said this earlier, the season starts here in Miami and it possibly ends in Miami for the national championship game being played here in Hard Rock Stadium.
And if they're going to get past Miami, they're going to have to get past and stop this defense. We all know how good the defense was last year for Notre Dame, but there's a new sheriff in town here in Miami, and his name is a familiar one, Carson Beck, who is the transfer from Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. Carson Beck, he comes in with a load of experience, rated the #1 overall prospect in the transfer portal this offseason. And even though he was the backup QB when the Bulldogs won those 2 national championships in 21 and 22, As the starter, Beck led Georgia to an SEC title and a playoff berth. And in the 27 games he started, Beck threw for 7,912 yards, 58 touchdowns, and led the Dogs to a 24-3 record.
Yeah, but not so fast, my friends, in the great words of the now retired Lee Corso, because guess what? Beck was also prone to turning the ball over. 20 turnovers in his time, in his 2 seasons. Let's not forget he's coming off that Tommy John surgery on his throwing elbow. So how much of that 24-3 was Carson Beck, and how much of it was the Georgia Bulldogs being the Georgia Bulldogs?
Absolutely. He had an incredible cast around him. You also have to imagine, though, that Tommy John surgery on that elbow, I hear from their radio play-by-play guy, from everyone we're talking to here in Miami, that Carson Beck is looking very good, very healthy, and has an awful lot of confidence.
Well, and it might be the right system for him to play. We all know what Cristobal did with Ward last year. So does he fit into the system? A lot of $1 million for this quarterback to come to Miami. Now, on the flip side of the ball, what about CJ Carr? I mean, listen, the superlatives about this guy are the sky is the ceiling for him.
We've gotten to see him since he first stepped foot on campus at Notre Dame as an early enrollee, and he emanated that confidence and that swagger, but not in an arrogant way whatsoever. He just owned it. He commanded the room, and that was coming in as an early enrollee. So I think we're going to see some of that translate. He's not going to be scared here tonight. Now, there may be some adjustment period for him, but I think we're going to see him grow so much over the season.
Well, and we'll see how much advice he got from Ian Book, because he was able to talk to the former quarterback who was here on this field for that 41-8 drubbing in 2017. And Ian had this to say about CJ.
CJ's a baller. I bet you he's preparing the way he should be, and I bet that this game means a ton to him like everybody imagines. But I know what a statement to go down there and play a great game. I've also told him, like, you don't have to go down there and be a superhero. Go down there and play in this system. Don't act like everything is on you. You get into some trouble when you start thinking you can handle and do everything on your own, and he doesn't need to do that.
Well, CJ Carr, the third Notre Dame quarterback making his first career start in the last 20 years on the road. And boy, you know the other guys to do it? 2007, Demetrius Jones. Who? He got pulled in that game, never saw the field really ever again. But Everett Golson, 2012, he went on to lead the Irish to that national championship game for the BCS.
Well, and Ian, we'll hear from him a little bit later on in the show as well. But he basically told me, don't be intimidated. Don't try and force the football, because that's what you're going to want to do. He's a gunslinger. He's going to want to throw the ball in the middle of double coverage. He said, ease on in, let the run game do the work, let your offense do the work for you. We'll see how he does in his first career start.
And that offensive line is one of the best in the nation year after year, so he's got a lot of protection around him.
Talia, we'll go to you.
Arguably one of the most exciting offenses. Sure, this is CJ Carr's first start compared to Beck, who's had 39 career games, but this should not cause panic for the Irish. CJ Carr told me the other day that he has been preparing for this his whole entire life. He's confident, his coaches are confident, and most importantly, his teammates are confident in him. And looking for him, he is anything but short of weapons around him.
Welcome back to ABC 57 Kickoff and to Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami Gardens, Florida, as the Irish get set to take on this top 10 matchup, their first true test of the 2025 season.
Well, we're talking about CJ Carr, and it's not all about CJ. He doesn't have to force it. We just said that. He has tons of weapons around him to help the Irish make another playoff run. Let's welcome in ABC 57 Kickoff reporter Talia Baya, who joins the team. Welcome to ABC 57 Kickoff, and tell us more about those weapons, Talia.
Yeah, Allison and Fahid, Notre Dame is rolling into the season with arguably one of the most exciting offenses in the country. And of course, this is CJ Carr's first career start compared to Carson Beck, who's had 39 career games, but this should not be panic for the Irish. He told me the other day that he has been preparing his whole entire life fight for this. He's confident, his coaches are confident in him, and most importantly, he's surrounded by anything short of weapons. Carr has one of the best running back duos behind him. Jeremiah Love is so back from his breakout season last year, leading the offense with 1,125 yards and 17 touchdowns. Alongside him, he's got Jadarian Price recording over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns over his career. He's consistent with a knack for big playmaking, having 15 runs of 15-plus yards in 2024, tying with Love.
The mindset is clear. We want to be the best running back room in the country, but we also just want to get better every week.
Everybody in that room can make a play wherever it's needed. And that's just big because, coaches trust us. We can trust each other. Our teammates trust us. And we're just a very explosive offense in general.
With Kevin Bauman's retirement and Ty Washington just a transfer, 6'7" senior Eli Reardon will be the anchor. His combination of size, speed, and experience makes him a dependable option. But the real difference maker this year might be at wide receiver, a spot that has not always been Notre Dame's strong suit. Freeman just recruited an absolute unit from Virginia, senior Malachi Fields. He has size, standing at 6'4", and catching ability. Fields brings a strong, proven statistical record, putting up back-to-back seasons with over 800 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I think the thing that kind of impresses me most with Malachi is kind of probably just the way he works off the field. I think obviously we know who Malachi is on the field. He's a big wide receiver, is going to go make plays down the field. But I think when you sit down and you talk with Malachi and you learn more about him and the man he is, I think that's something I really admire. Wisconsin transfer and captain Will Pauling is also expected to be this room's focal point. Last season with the Badgers, he recorded 837 yards on 74 passes and 6 touchdowns. Add in returners Jaden Greathouse and Jordan Faison, and suddenly this wide receiver room looks stacked. Greathouse led the team in receiving touchdowns last season with 4. Meanwhile, Faison ranked 4th in receiving and really flashed in the college football playoffs, where he earned Notre Dame's offensive and special teams player of the game honors in the first round. Yes, and let's not forget about the offensive line. They really pull it all together. And one player to keep an eye on is Billy Shrout. He was actually just named captain, and he's an exceptional pass blocker. Last year, he only allowed 1 sack out of nearly 400 snaps. So coming up, we're going to actually break down the defense in around 30 minutes. We'll talk about Chris Ash replacing Al Golden. Those details coming up next.
Well, thanks, Talia. Yeah, while the future looks bright for these young Irish players, what laid the groundwork for them was the past. And this weekend down here in Miami, some of the biggest and best names on both sides of the rivalry came together off of the football field to renew the rivalry on the golf course.
That's right, the Miami Golf Classic features those big names and some even bigger personalities, and it's good to be back. Yeah, and a lot of chatter. It's good to be back at Hard Rock Stadium. When we come back on the other side of the break, I'll look back at 10 years of ABC 57 Kickoff and the intense rivalry between the Irish and the Hurricanes dating back decades.
All that's on the green, you see that?
Everybody but you. I know you wasn't on the green.
Hey, I let you dream nothing more.
I remember saying that golfers weren't athletes. I used to say that. I used to be like, man, they ain't no real athletes, man. Real athletes, the ball ain't even moving. Well, until I tried to hit that mug, I was like, what? It ain't even moving. I can't even hit it. It's captured versus convicts. I think the convicts might be on the ropes right now.
A little firm, a little bit firm.
And you still miss. Drive for show, putt for dough, baby. My QB, baby. You already know. You gotta have that vision. You gotta have that toughness. Bling, bling, bling.
Yep. When the camera come on, the big time players make big time plays. You know what it is. You mad. You mad.
I was just born when that rivalry started, so it means everything for me to be able to help recreate it in a fun way.
I called up Reggie Brooks, who I played with at Notre Dame too, and I said, Reggie, why don't we put something together with Hostess Heroes? And I'm very good friends with Brandon Merriweather, who obviously was a big UM star. And so we said, let's put something together, man. Let's raise some money. Let's try and do some good for both foundations, and let's play some golf.
Then he showed out for the camera. You know what I'm saying? Prime time. Man, I love my Notre Dame fans, man, doing this, and for Hostess Heroes, you know, and Brandon Merriweather for his cause and everything. That's what it's about.
You read so much about them, you see them on television, but actually spend time with them.
Got that gold jacket.
You know, Miami gonna end up beating the brakes off them this weekend.
We have the type of team that can wear you down, and especially that second half, I think we're gonna break some big runs. I'm looking for love in the end zone, baby.
We had way too much fun in that golf outing. It was so cool to ride around with Ricky Waters and to talk a little trash with Reggie Brooks, but Brandon Merriweather from Miami, I mean, he is an all-time trash talker if I've ever seen one, and he can back it up too. He's the all-time leader in tackles as a DB here at Miami, and he was killing it on the golf course too.
Ricky, I mean, just to spend time with Ricky Waters in that golf cart and that golf course, and also Reggie Brooks, he can talk some smack too. Reggie was yapping back. It was good to be there, and we had a lot of fun, and we'll show you our golf shots in just a little bit, because we had our hand on a par 3 as well, but it is good to be back at Hard Rock Stadium as well, celebrating 10 years of ABC 57 Kickoff. When we come back, 10 years of the Kickoff crew, the rivalry, and of course, the intense trash talk that we were talking about between the Hurricanes and Notre Dame. We're celebrating 10 years of ABC 57 Kickoff. You can see from our mic flag, you can see from our hats, we are in our 10th anniversary season here. It's been an awesome ride, but we've been here before. This is the second time that Allison and you and I have been here to Hard Rock Stadium. The last time, not so memorable on the field in 2017, but again, a long line of this intense rivalry that dates back years and years. Of course, the Catholics versus Convicts rivalry in 1988.
One of the first seasons of ABC 57 Kickoff, we went back and took a look at that 30 for 30 documentary on the making of the Catholics versus Convicts t-shirts, that rivalry, and it's incredible to look back on that. That Catholics versus Convicts, that still gets people fired up even today, nearly 40 years later.
And you had Notre Dame, the upstart. They had all this background and history, and Miami just ignored all of that.
Yeah, Miami, looking back over the years, they had a reputation as the bad boys, but they were great players, great program. They were exciting for college football, but we were pretty bad ourselves.
A heavyweight bout for the ages.
It's almost like two boxers going into a ring, and instead of doing this, they're shoving each other before they even get started.
Right behind us is Michael Irvin, by the way. That's it. We're looking behind us, got all excited. Bring him on and talk about if we can get a hold of him, we will. But to look back at that package, shout out to Jess Arnold, one of our old reporters, and to look at, we're on air right now, Vahid, and we. The Catholics versus Convicts, controversial, but still very much a big part of this rivalry. We look at 2017. That was the last time we were here. No rain for that game, but one of the things that stood out to us, we were on the field, and that was one of the best offensive lines we've ever seen at Notre Dame. Mike McGlinchey, Quentin Nelson, those were huge, amazing first-round draft picks, and when we saw them in the tunnel, their eyeballs were as big as saucers. They actually looked scared, and that was very telling. We knew from that moment it was not going to be pretty here.
So, originally I picked in this year I picked Notre Dame, and the reason that I have waffled back and forth is because the last time we were here, exactly what you said. We were here in that tunnel, they were coming out of the tunnel, and you could just see they were scared. They weren't really prepared for this game. And I think today might be a different story, but the last time we were here, Allison, and you could see some of the pictures from last time we were here, just a great time. We were able to hit up some of South Beach and just enjoy our time here. But again, 41-8 the final score the last time we were here. Just an unbelievable game, and it was over quickly.
Yes, 41-8 that final score. The anticipation is building right now, right off of camera. We can see Chris Ash hugging his wife and his kids as they are getting ready for this huge matchup. We still have much more to come here on ABC 57. Thank you so much. Welcome back to ABC57 Kickoff. We are live from Hard Rock, and a dream come true for us right now. Michael Irvin, a legend here in Miami. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Just want to get your thoughts on this rivalry and this matchup tonight.
Well, I love the rivalry. Of course I love the rivalry. Every time I play the rivalry, I'll, of course, always whoop y'all butts. That's why I love the rivalry. But tonight, this is going to be epic. You guys were right there last year in the championship game. We need this step, and we are going to step right on your heads tonight. I'm letting you know that right now.
So we talked to.
Don't bring me on your TV if you don't really want me to be me. And we talking about you. I'm on your TV, and we're about to put it in. Now, okay, what question you have?
So we were talking to Brandon Merriweather the other day. We were talking to him about, so we were talking about the smack talk that used to go on in 88, 91. Now, how much smack talk was really going on the field?
Oh, it was a lot back then. Now, it really was a lot. You got to imagine, you see the scene. That was a lot of us coming from nothing, looking at all the players at Notre Dame. They thinking they had everything, so we wanted to be that, you know what I'm saying. And I mean, it was like, why they get to have everything and we get to have nothing? And then on top of it, y'all want to put your praying hands together and say y'all holy moly, and we just old stolen. And that's why, you know what I'm saying.
Michael, our last one from you, just your prediction for tonight. And is this rivalry renewed?
My prediction for tonight, I got one word: pain. Pain for all Irishmen in the house. Pain.
Thank you so much. That was unbelievable. Michael Irvin, an all-time legend in college and NFL football.
Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Yeah. That's an epic reel for you now. Epic stuff. Put it on the reel to get y'all in it. That's what you're doing.
Oh, we love it. We love him. Thank you so much.
Man, Michael Irvin, unbelievable. I mean, he was a big part of that rivalry. We were talking about that. A big part of the rivalry was that smack talk, and you just heard it.
That's right. And, of course, while we were talking to Michael, Marcus Freeman just walked out behind us, and that'll lead us into our next story here. I had a chance to sit down with Marcus Freeman to talk to him a little bit about the changes in the CFP. This past May, the CFP committee, made up of 10 conference commissioners and Irish Athletic Director Pete Bavacqua, voted unanimously to modify the seeding and bye policies of the 12-team playoff for the 2025-26 season. The new policy will no longer include a bye for the 4 highest-ranked conference champions. The 12-team bracket will now be seeded directly based on the final ranking of the CFP selection committee, with the 4 highest-ranked teams receiving a first-round bye. That means an independent team like Notre Dame can now earn a first-round bye as well. Last year, the Irish, the highest they could finish the regular season was 5th. Head coach Marcus Freeman told me in that one-on-one that college football has changed so much, not just since he was a player at Ohio State, but in the 4 years since he's been head coach at Notre Dame.
That's right. The CFP committee.
When I think about where college football was when I became head coach to where it is 4 short years later, there's been massive changes from NIL to, where this transfer portal has gone to, player compensation, playoffs, But at the end of the day, to be successful, you have to be adaptable. And you have to be adaptable and make the most of these changes. And that's what this staff does, and that's what our players do. We understand the changes, we research them and say, how can we use this to benefit Notre Dame football? And that's what our program has done a really good job at doing.
Last year we had the opportunity to talk to you about the opportunity to host a playoff game here at Notre Dame Stadium, and it happened. What was that experience like? And would you like to have more playoff games right here in South Bend?
It was the best environment, and this is not to shortchange any other game we've had, but that environment was different. It was special. I remember coming out of Basilica and making that walk to the stadium, and as we got closer, you see game day and the lights. It was just something special. It gives you chills thinking about it. The atmosphere was crazy inside the stadium. Now, if you're asking me would I rather have a bye or play a home playoff game, like you have to take the free win. You have to take that, but it is a great advantage to play a home playoff game here at Notre Dame.
Comes the defense. Yeah? All right, well, the CFP committee will still maintain the importance of the conference champions, but they will also put more importance on strength of schedule, which means teams will be rewarded for playing tough, big-time matchups like this, especially to start the season in the top 10. That also preserves Notre Dame's opportunity to have some of those big teams like Alabama and Florida over the years not drop them to try to give them an easier route.
Yeah, as for the Irish, as they enter the 2025 season, there are two droughts they are trying to end. One we all know very, very well, 1988. The other one, the last time they beat Miami here in Miami. You know what that was? 1977. Woo! It was 48 years the last time they beat Miami in South Florida. If the Irish have any dreams of doing both this season, they'll need a Michigan man to carry them.
Expectation versus reality. Coming off a championship game appearance, the Irish are expected to once again compete for a spot in the postseason.
I had to trust my gut a little bit.
But the reality is that this is a different team. New coaches, new players, and a brand new quarterback making his very first collegiate start.
What I felt like we needed going into week one versus opponent.
As the highest ranked Notre Dame QB recruit since Brady Quinn, Michigan native CJ Carr carries not only the weight of the team on his back, but also the hopes of Irish Nation.
CJ's a baller. I bet you he's preparing the way he should be, and I bet that this game means a ton to him like everybody imagines, but I know what a statement to go down there and play a great game.
This type of pressure can be cruel, especially when faced with the daunting task of beating Miami in South Beach.
Been able to talk to CJ and tell him, like, it's loud. We should not be caught off guard. It's a very loud place. It's hostile. They don't like us. We don't like them. It's a awesome, historic rivalry.
Like Book, Carr has also experienced a quarterback competition. Heading into fall camp, he had the job all but locked up. That is, until he threw 3 picks in his very first practice. The back-and-forth battle with now backup Kenny Minchey was not only surprising, but unexpected.
They're mature. They handled it. They understand only one guy can play. I think they motivated each other in a very intense QB battle that Notre Dame hasn't had in a while. And I think it brought the best play out of both of them.
If we learned anything, it's that Carr can face adversity, take a hit, and get right back on his feet. Isn't that what we all want to know anyway? How does CJ Carr respond in the game's most critical moments?
You're going to have some growing pains with any first-time starter, and we have to understand that. We can't expect the quarterback, CJ, to be perfect.
By Sunday night, we'll be one step closer to finding an answer to that question.
You got to be able to handle the environment. He's got to be able to handle the crowd, and he's got to be able to handle being his first game versus a big-time opponent.
For now, we're all hoping that the lofty expectations, fairly or unfairly placed on a young Carr, will be fully realized.
I've also told him, you don't have to go down there and be a superhero. Go down there and play in the system. Don't act like everything is on you. You get into some trouble when you start thinking you can handle and do everything on your own, and he doesn't need to do that.
Now, it's important. It's not all going to fall on Carr. We talked about that earlier tonight. 100% of the time, it is a difference maker when you have the best running back in the country and probably one of the top 5 running backs in the country, yes. Jadarian Price. So it takes a little bit of weight off of CJ Carr's shoulder. But Allison, the first start here in Miami, they're definitely pumping noise in because it is not a full capacity right now.
Yes.
And it is loud, as you all can tell at home.
Yes, it is very hard for us to hear each other standing next to each other. But something to note, take a look at this picture that CJ Carr's mom, Tammy, posted on social media today. This is a huge moment for their family. He is making his first career start. While he played in that Purdue game, he never threw a pass. So this will not just be his first start. This will be his first career pass as the Notre Dame quarterback as well. You know those emotions have got to be running high for mom and dad watching their son tonight.
Awesome. Just an awesome atmosphere. It is the 10th anniversary season of ABC57 Kickoff. and we are live in South Bend as well as Miami Gardens. ABC57's Jordan Tolbert joins us now from the linebacker lounge, where I know, Jordan, Irish fans are getting down. Hope you're having a good evening too.
Oh, it's been an absolutely great time. By the way, I'm watching you right here to my right. I was just watching you both. It looks incredible in Miami. Here in South Bend, things are going so well. There's so much green and gold in this bar right now. Let me just show you here what it's looking like. As I got here about 5 p.m. or so, it was busy. There was some karaoke happening, but right now more people are coming in. Fans are filling up both inside and outside in the tent area as well. Yeah, you can hear people cheering as they see us here. It's been a great time so far. Fans are getting really excited. And just to give you an idea of what fans are saying, you can hear them as they watch us right now. But fans are saying that they're, nervous, they're apprehensive, excited, optimistic. The last person I talked to said that they're really excited to see CJ Carr play. Back to you.
Yes, up next, I will be diving deeper into the new defensive coordinator, who's actually standing right behind me, so you won't want to miss that. Coming up next after the break.
Welcome back to ABC 57 Kickoff, live from Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami Gardens, Florida. Head coach Marcus Freeman continues to preach that this is an O-line and D-line driven team. And when you look at this defense, they were one of the best in the country last season, ranked 4th in points allowed, giving up just 15.5 points per game.
Well, while the Irish lost defensive coordinator Al Golden last year, he was a huge name, a well-deserved raise going to the NFL. And Xavier Watts. There's some new faces here and a new coach on that defense. ABC 57 kickoff reporter Talia Baya joins us once again live from Miami Gardens and Hard Rock Stadium to talk about that new and old defense. Talia?
And Vahid, like you said, last year that Irish defense was not playing around. 15.5 points not allowed, and they're ranked 4th. However, there is a new sheriff in town, Chris Ash. He is replacing Al Golden as defensive coordinator. And Marcus Freeman, usually, this is kind of a big spot to fill, but Marcus Freeman told him, Chris Ash, just go out there and be the best Chris Ash you can be. When asked if he was nervous about this change, he said no. He's fully confident in Chris Ash.
The Notre Dame secondary is looking to pick up where it left off last season. Sophomore Leonard Moore is a preseason All-American after a stellar freshman campaign, allowing just 46% completions when targeting, the lowest among starters. He added 48 tackles, 11 pass breakups, and 2 picks.
Yeah, he's still a freshman, but out here, it's like he's a fifth-year senior. The way he goes about and handles his business in the meetings, the extra work that he puts in, he's here early, he stays late. One of the first ones out here onto the practice field. He's always trying to do things at a high level.
Captain Adon Schuler is a proven playmaker, posting 59 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a defensive touchdown last season, earning All-American honors and a spot on Fox's breakout list. At linebacker, Captain Drake Bowen anchors the group, recording 78 tackles and 3 forced fumbles last season. And junior Jaden Osbury is versatile and reliable, playing in multiple spots with 58 total tackles and 6.5 tackles for loss in 2024.
They need to be tough, they need to be smart, and they need to be competitive, and they need to be elite communicators. Our job is to come to work every day and try to be the best version of myself, the linebackers, and then the defense. And then to me, if we worry about anything other than that, then we're cheating ourselves.
And lastly, Donovan Heinisch, who brings productive play on the field. Last season, he finished with 35 tackles and 4.5 sacks. He says this group has been underestimated, but they are ready to prove everyone wrong.
Everyone on that defense has been counted out or looked down upon a little bit, so I think all of us have a little bit of chip on our shoulder, have a little bit of grip behind us. So yeah, I think everyone on our defense is rough, tough, gritty dudes. We're not there to mess around. So I think the identity of our defense is watch out.
Yes, the defense made it absolutely clear that they are holding themselves to a higher standard than last year. To them, it is all about being the heart of the Irish. Now it is time to see if Chris Ash can pull it all together and keep the tradition of tough, gritty defense that we all are familiar with.
Well, thanks, Talia. Coming up after the break, we talk with the radio play-by-play voice of the Miami Hurricanes to get his opinion on this matchup. We are joined now by the radio play-by-play voice of the Miami Hurricanes, Joe Zagacki. Thank you so much for letting us in your booth. One, it's a little bit air-conditioned up here, so it feels pretty nice, but you've been with this broadcast team for 35 years, 22 as the play-by-play guy, and all 5 of the Hurricanes national championships. I have to imagine you've had some pretty amazing experiences over the years.
Yes, Alice, I've been very lucky. I would say right off the bat, when Miami won their first one in 1983 against Nebraska at the Orange Bowl, as a person who grew up 5 minutes from this stadium, I never thought in my wildest dreams Miami would win one national championship along 5. So that first one's always been very special.
Incredible. And to look at this year's team and the building and the growth that your coach has been doing here, but to come in ranked number 10 in the country, do you think that was for the hype, the buildup of this top 10 matchup, or do you think it's legit? Where do you feel like the Canes are and why?
Well, I think Miami, they're always going to be highly ranked when they come off this 10-win season. So he's done a nice job, Coach Cristobal. 5 wins, 7 wins, 10 wins. Carson Beck is the starting quarterback. Tonight will be his 39th career game. I think that alone elevated Miami in the rankings, alongside with a gigantic offensive line, very good offensive line, and what they think will be an improved defense. So I think the natural progression of the 5, 7, 10 coming into this season, ranked 10th is probably a fair ranking.
All right, and you talk about Carson Beck. He's making his first start, though, for the Canes. We know he's got that experience. What have you seen from him since he's made his way to South Florida? How is he fitting in with the team, and what does he bring to this offense?
Well, he brings experience. He won't be overwhelmed by tonight. 24-3 at Georgia. That's in the vaunted SEC, right? We're all supposed to lay down for the SEC. Well, he was in the SEC. He won 24 of his 27 games. He's a big kid. He's 6'5". I think he's a better athlete than people give him credit for. He can be elusive in the pocket. He can run. He's hard to bring down. Everybody wants to know about the elbow. What I saw in training camp is a quarterback that's still confident and can really throw the football with authority.
I know Miami Hurricanes fans like to hear it. I don't know about the Irish, but when you look at that offense, who is he going to be throwing to? You've lost a ton of production, over 3,500 yards and tons of touchdowns from the wide receivers, the tight ends. Who do they have now for him to throw to?
You know, it's an interesting question, an interesting narrative, because the guys they lost, it wasn't like they lost Andre Johnson and Michael Irvin and guys like that. So they brought in a couple of transfer players, C.J. Daniels from LSU, Keelan Merrigan from BYU. I think those two are going to be very important to him, as well as freshman Malachi Toney and sophomore JoJo Trader.
All right, and then defensively, on the same kind of frame, you have an overhauled coaching staff, all coaches except for really just one, including the defensive coordinator, and you brought in 9 transfers on the D. Where is the production and where is the upside for this defense?
Corey Heatherman is the new defensive coordinator, comes in from Minnesota. Last year, pretty much top 20 in every single metric. So if he has that here, Miami will have a very successful season. 2 key players in the defensive line, Bain and Mesidor, they've got to be great tonight. Key players in the secondary, it's all been revamped. And O.J. Frederick was a freshman All-American. Xavier Lucas comes in from Wisconsin. Zachariah Poyser is a transfer from Jackson State. I think those guys are good in training camp. The question is going to be for Miami, especially in tonight's game, is can they hold up physically against the run? And that's going to be specifically at the defensive tackle position.
All right, they have a job ahead of them with Jeremiah Love, and I'm sure they're going to try to get a lot of pressure on C.J. Carr making his first career start. Joe Zagacki, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Vahid, I'm going to send it back down to you on the field.
Oh, thanks so much, Allison. The Irish just going off into the tunnel to a sea of orange boos here at Hard Rock Stadium. And guess what? The Irish welcome it. They were going like this and going like this. Our final predictions, along with former quarterback Ian Book, live from Hard Rock Stadium. Next.
A little foreshadowing of what our weather is going to be like in Florida.
Shiny new cases.
I said show my muscles. That's gonna take some serious work. Yeah.
10.
We are on our way to start season number 10 of ABC57 Kickoff.
Here we go.
Scott, welcome aboard. Thanks for flying with us.
Welcome to Miami, where the local time is 2:30 p.m.
Welcome to the 305 where the players play.
Let's head inside for some authentic Cuban food here in Miami.
Holy frijoles. These are platanos, plantains. They're sweet and delicious.
I mean, look at this thing. Cubans are like one of my favorite foods. Foam on top.
Yeah, looks good. Everything about this meal just keeps getting better.
We're never leaving. We're never leaving.
Whoa, found it.
I do love being on a college campus.
A Hall of Honor, which has photos of most of our inductees. I was Sebastian the Ibis back in the 80s. So
I heard
I can
that.
tell a couple of stories about Notre Dame. These were from the 88 game. Not only is it Miami Notre Dame, but Sebastian the Ibis is going into the Mascot Hall of Fame.
We're having trouble finding the U.
Do you guys know where the U is?
We're looking for the U.
You know where the big U is?
I feel like this is like the biggest reveal of all time.
I'm not sure if it was worth all of this hassle to get here, but here it is. It's the U.
Hey, you finally made it.
I know. You guys ready for the show?
It's time for kickoff.
Well, you know we always take advantage of these trips and try to get the full experience. Talia, the newest member of our ABC57 kickoff team, she had a little trouble getting here, but you're here now and welcome.
Yes, I am here. Not a very warm, wet welcome. It's very wet. I kind of look like a wet dog, but we're here. We made it. That's all that matters. Hopefully the rain dies down a little bit.
The skies have opened up once again. The Hurricanes are headed to the locker room. It's an orange out here at a packed Hard Rock Stadium, and it's time to make our final predictions, joined by special guest Ian Book. Allison, we'll let you pick first.
To start us off, we wanted to know, what do we think CJ Carr is going to get done tonight? How many touchdowns? How many interceptions? I'm going with 2 TDs for his first start, 1 interception.
I have him 0 interceptions, but after watching Arch Manning play, I think he's going to throw 3. I'm sorry. I know I said 0, but I have to say 3 and 1 touchdown. And the rest are going to be rushing.
The ball's going to be wet. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and I think those are going to be dump passes. We'll see how much he truly throws it downfield with the weather being like it is. Next up, the defense. How many turnovers are they going to cause,
what
right?
about Ian Book? Don't we want to hear what Ian Book has to say?
Yeah, what is about Ian Book?
He throws 2 touchdowns, no picks. And I guarantee you, he does that, we're going to win the game.
All right. Well, how about that defense now? We want to know how many turnovers the defense is going to cause, maybe recover tonight. I'm going with 1, but I think there could be a lot more now with this rain.
I have 2, and expect that from Leonard Moore and Christian Gray after camp. They were just showing fire. Freeman praised them, teammates, coaches, everyone praised them. So turnovers coming from them.
How many turnovers did we say for him in Georgia? 20. I got 2 tonight. Ian Book, what's your prediction?
Man, I like our defense. First game's always a little bit sloppy. I'm going to go with 2 total turnovers. That'll also win us the game.
And our final score prediction tonight, I have bought in. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I feel like Notre Dame is the better team here tonight. They have been overhauled on defense. They have no wide receivers or tight end for talent for Carson Beck to throw to. I say Irish win it, 31-24.
I like that, Allison. I got to go with you. Give me the Irish, 24-20. I think it's going to be a gritty, close, low-scoring game, and we can expect to see a lot of running game from Jeremiah Love, and I think some short passes from Carr and a strong defense.
So originally I picked Miami because I feel like Miami has a good team, and I feel like this is a tough atmosphere. We saw 2017. Do you know what the difference is between 2017 and now? The head coaches. That head coach did not have his team prepared. Marcus Freeman does. These guys look like they wanted to bring it tonight. I'm reversing the score. Let's go, Michael Irvin. 31-28. Notre Dame gets it done on the road tonight. I'm flipping the script.
All right, and our last one from Ian Book. What does he think?
27-17, Notre Dame.
All right, you got it there. We have had an incredible experience here tonight. Michael Irvin joined us, and we are live at Notre Dame versus Miami, a top 10 matchup. Thank you so much for watching our 10th season of ABC57 Kickoff.
All right, for Talia Baya, Vahid Sadrzadeh, and Allison Hayes, enjoy the game. We'll be back after the game with live coverage after this.